Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bad Big Games. I'm your host, Joseph. Today, we're going to be talking about Sony's press conference and did they just hand over this E3 to Microsoft? So, with all that said, with all that out of the way, Future Joe, roll the intro. So, gang, before I start this video, I need to say this. Ever since 2013, PlayStation has been the place where I play. I own an Xbox, I love my Switch, I love my PC, I love all my consoles, but to be honest, there has been no experience like the one I could get out of my PlayStation. I love it so much that I made a podcast about it. I'm passionate about PlayStation, and again, ever since Bloodborne, it's just been game after game of these experiences that I can't get anywhere else. So I really do love PlayStation, and I understand walking out of this event how a lot of people may feel, and I understand that this event is either you love it or you hate it, and there's no middle ground. And today, I'm gonna upset both of you guys because I feel like there is middle ground here. So with that, before we get into the negative stuff, before we get into the thing everybody's talking about with this conference, I want to talk about the positive things and what I really liked out of this conference. And with that, the games they showed, Last of Us, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Spiderman, for the most part, they looked all really great, especially The Last of Us, especially Ghost of Tsushima. Both of those games look incredible. The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima looks great. Last of Us looks just amazing. It's beautiful, but at the same time, you know what Neil Druckmann's saying is this game's about hatred, right? It's about just pure hate, and you see it. This game is even gorier and more morbid and visceral as the first game, and that is, you don't even think it can get that bad, but it does. And at the same time, though, the world is so beautiful. The faces, Ellie looks fantastic. This game is unlike anything I've seen at E3 over the recent years, and it's got me excited, so excited for this game to finally come out. With that said, Ghost of Tsushima looks incredible. It shows you that when Sony wants and it backs a developer, they really let that developer do what they want in terms of what their pitch is. Like Sucker Punch is known for the Infamous series, for Sly Cooper, for these superhero and cartoonish like games, but they're making, and they're an American studio, and they're making a samurai game. It's crazy, and they're trying to be as authentic as possible, and guess what? They're nailing it, because for me, holy crap, it looks beautiful. The wheat field that your horse is just galloping through, that the horse of which they mocapped, by the way. They put a mocap suit on a horse, and it looked incredible. Everything, the fighting, no words can describe. It's unlike a lot of action games that I've seen. It kind of, to me, it reminded me of those old samurai movies back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and without the camp. It was excellent. And so with that, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, I loved. Resident Evil 2 Remaster, incredible. I've never been a Resident Evil fan. I played 7 and I really, really liked it. And I've wanted an excuse to go back, and this is an excuse to go back and revisit some of those games, especially 2. Holy crap, it looks really great. And there's even parts in that trailer I got scared shitless of. So I'm really excited to go back to that remaster. Spider-Man, again, it's my favorite superhero. And it's Arkham, but more acrobatic, more fluid. It is Insomniac at their finest. Just simple as that. There's a part of that trailer where there's something cinematic that happens and you're expecting a quick time event and you don't. You're just swinging and things are happening and flying and you're just working on the fly to chase down the certain enemy. Don't want to spoil it. It's awesome. And then there's some really awesome little things like Neo 2, the Ninja Theory inspired From Software-esque game. Holy crap, I did not expect it there. I'm really excited. I loved the first Neo, and I'm down. Seriously, I'm down. Trover Saves the Universe, the Rick and Morty-esque style game from the Rick and Morty co-founder, Justin Roiland. Incredible. funny, hilarious. It's a VR game. But with that, all this good stuff, and yes, I'll be honest, I just gotta let this known, and I'm not gonna speak about it much. Wasn't a fan of Death Stranding's trailer, but I'm gonna harp on the main critique. With all these great games I saw, again, and if you love Death Stranding, you love it, I'll put it there in the positive. The thing that got me shook, as the kids say, was the pacing. And I feel like that's what everybody's going to talk about. There's 16 minutes in this conference that didn't need to exist, or you could have filled it with games that we've never seen before, or games that could get us pumped for this holiday season. 16 minutes went by, and it was a chore. What happened was they had to move people from the Last of Us stage to the auditorium that they were going to host the rest of the event. And that took about 16 minutes to do. So in the meantime, they had this really cringy interview with Sean Layden, and it was with the PlayStation blog. They're there to sell PlayStation, and it did not seem authentic. It seemed so manufactured. Softball questions like, "Hey, Sean, why are Sony exclusives just so good this generation?" Really? Like, there's ways to selling your game and being authentic. Take a look at what Ubisoft has done for the last 2 years in a row. Look at what even Microsoft did. Things like Devil May Cry, seeing the creator out there so giddy and excited because this is their game and it's finally there. You could say it. You could fill that time with something else. The fact that there were so many games that got these 30-second montage shots that did not do them any justice, just felt like they were there to fill time, just did these games no justice. Seeing Days Gone, it literally had 30 seconds. This game that's going to come out right after Spiderman, their second next exclusive, coming out February 22nd. You wouldn't know that if you blinked because the trailer was over in a second. That's just not good. There was literally 10 minutes there that you could have filled with more Call of Duty, more Destiny, more Red Dead Redemption that lacked, it was just not even there. You could have showed us Rocksteady's game, what Square Enix's Marvel game is. You could have wowed us with a surprise out of left field, but instead we have these cringy interviews with the PlayStation blog, with developers and Sean Layden, and it was bad. But with that, if you can get past the fluff, like I did, I watched this conference again and I took out all the parts. I just fast forwarded through all the PR bullshit, and you find that there's a good conference there. But that's the problem. You have to get rid of the fluff to get to the meat. And what happened was the pacing was so off that these great games didn't have the impact that they should have. In the matter of fact, there's an after show that they showed a From Software VR game. They showed off more of Dreams, which was in the conference but still has no release date. Hell, they showed off Last of Us. They showed a Ghost of Tsushima. They showed us Death Stranding, and none of those games don't even have a year in which they're coming out. Don't even talk about release date. These games don't even have a year. Does it say 2019? Does it say anything? And that's led some to speculate that these games aren't even PlayStation 4 games. They're the next generation games, where I think that's people just speaking hyperbole and speaking their frustrations out. I feel like Sony's job, seeing Microsoft, whether you love them or hate them, they came out with 50 games. And yes, a lot of those games are not coming out this year, and some of those games aren't coming out next year. But the thing that they showed was a roadmap of which they're working towards and that they're trying to be better with. And they're showing you games that are usually on the PlayStation stage, and they're showing you them here saying, hey, we have these games too. You know, Devil May Cry, we're bringing the creator out here. Hey, Kingdom Hearts, guess what? Here. Like, Sony has the exclusive marketing rights to Kingdom Hearts. It was shown off at the Xbox E3's press stage. That's huge. Tales of Vesperia. Like, these games that are synonymous with PlayStation are slowly but surely churning their way to the Xbox stage. And either though you're like, yeah, no release date on Halo or no release date on Gears or whatever it may have you, yeah, but at least they announced, hey, we bought 5 new studios, right? Seemed like Microsoft brought the heat, and Sony, they did too, but they did it in a way that the pacing just outset what was so good about that conference. There was just many times where we slowed to a just literal halt and that we didn't feel like we were going anywhere with it. So with that said, I don't think this is nearly as bad as what anybody's saying. I don't think they literally handed over Microsoft the conference, but I do think that this could have been better. And so, with that, I want to know what you guys fall on this conference. I think they showed great games, but the pacing overall is what really dampened the quality that was this E3 press conference. So, again, I don't think it's a clear cut winner. I think games like The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima really got me excited for the PlayStation brand, but those games need to start getting released. And I get it. Like, listen, Sony has a great track record of releasing those games and those games being spectacular. And I look at The Last of Us, I'm like, whew, you're beautiful. But with that, I feel like just because we didn't even get a firm release date on when these games are coming out or just a year, I feel like we're going to see them again at Paris Games Week, at PSX, at E3, again. And I'm sick of it. Like, stop showing me Death Stranding until Death Stranding's done. Please. Give me a year in which Last of Us is coming out. That's where my frustrations come. So with that said, I think the conference was all right. I'm gonna give it a C plus, just because the pacing was to me really bad. It did weigh on the performance of this conference and the impact that it made. But I think the games that were there were showstoppers and were really great. But the thing is, we don't know when these games are coming out. And so with that, again, I give it a good C plus. I do not think it's anywhere near as bad as what people are saying. It's not EA levels are bad. It's not the Borefest that was the Square Enix conference. It is a decent conference. It was good. It's just, I think we're not used to Sony having a okay conference. I think we're used to Sony just knocking it out of the park every single time. So with that, there always has to be a bit of a dud, and this one just happened to be a bit of a dud. I still have faith in Shu, in PlayStation, so I want to know what you guys thought down below. With all that said, with all that out of the way, guys, it's about 1 a.m. here. I need to go to sleep. We're going to try our best to stream the Nintendo event. If not, we're going to have our reactions to it tomorrow. So if you've watched this video and you go, whoa, I want to know what Joe thinks about Nintendo, go over. It should probably be up there. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, again, I'm tired. I need sleep. Like, share, subscribe if you like these videos. Seriously, E3 is crazy and hectic, but you guys have made this experience so amazing. The Make Us Better community is the best community on the internet, and I thank each and every one of you guys for taking your time out of your day and joining us with these live streams, being a part of the videos here. Thank you so very much. And you could be a patron of Make Us Better at patreon.com/makeusbetter, where you make me better day in, day out. With all that said, with all that out of the way, I need sleep. Keep your wits about you and have a nice one. Joe, get me out of here.